5 players I dislike for 2025. Usually I preface this by saying, hey, I'm not actually rooting against these guys, it's just that they have lofty expectations and blah 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 blah. But this time around is different. I dislike these players because I believe that these players dislike me, personally. And they want to see me fail. They're preying on my downfall at this very moment. All 5 of these baseball players will strike me down if given the chance, but it is I who will emerge victorious. Mark Vientos appears to be a popular regression pick this year, and I can't help but agree. Despite a wonderful age 24 season where he was the second best hitter on a Mets team that reached the NLCS, there are tangible reasons for concern. Initially, it seemed like his breakout was based on better strikeout and walk rates than his previous big league efforts in 2022 and 2023, but over time, those became scary. In the first half, he struck out 25% of the time with an 8% walk rate, relatively close to league norms in both categories, but he went on to strike out 34% of the time and walk 7% of the time in the second half, a ratio that may be untenable. You'd be hard-pressed to strike out that much, walk that little, and expect to be a good big league hitter across a large sample. To counteract that, he'll need to hit for elite power, and he did that for the most part last year, with 27 homers in only 111 games. Not sure if he homers at that rate again without swing optimization. His bat speed was approximately league average, and only 5% of his batted balls were pulled fly balls, which was below league average. Something's gonna have to give here. Either he needs to make more contact, or he needs to counteract his lack of contact with an approach conducive to prodigious power. I don't think you can just plug 2024 Vientos into 2025 and expect an outcome nearly as productive. A great postseason papered over his second half warning signs. I dislike Mark Vientos' chances of building upon his breakout year. You won't find Jose Altuve on the Foolish 50 this year. After absolutely raking in 2022 and 2023, to the point that he was on par with his 2017 MVP season, he took a sizable step back in 2024, and I'm projecting another similar backslide in 2025, whether that be as a second baseman or left fielder. Initially, after reviewing Altuve's last season, I was satisfied. He was still rocking a .295 average, 20 homers, and a .127 WRC+. But the foundation is beginning to crack. Although his batted ball data was very much in line with career norms, whether that be his exit velocity, barrel rate, or prolific ability to pull the ball, his plate discipline was all out of whack. Altuve was aggressive, first and foremost, swinging more often than he had since 2015. As a result, he posted a career-high chase rate and career-low contact rate, leading to the worst strikeout-to-walk ratio of his career. His bat speed also dropped from 2023's second half. Altuve is entering his age 35 season, and at this point in the aging curve, year-over-year decline is expected. This pick doesn't come with the expectation that he has to repeat his brilliance to prove me wrong, he just has to be good enough. The projections define that as about 15 to 20% better than league average with age regression baked in. In that case, I guess I'm taking the under. Gonna go for the old dislike on a future Hall of Famer. These 5 players I dislike are brought to you by a ticket search engine that I like, SeatGeek. Opening day is just around the corner, we're looking at the Cardinals, and what I like about SeatGeek is that it rates all the best deals on a scale of 1 to 10 based on price and how good the seat is. They also include the fees when they display the price, so no unexpected surprises at checkout. This could be your view for $85 on opening day. It's not just baseball either, it's all the other sports, it's comedy, it's concerts, it's theater, any sort of big live event, they're probably selling tickets for it. Of course, opening day is going to be more expensive, but here's a really nice view in early April when the Angels come to town. That's for $35. This could be your view for $20 at the same game. So if you want to see your team this year, help out the program and save some money, use code FOOLISH at checkout. You will get $20 off your first purchase on SeatGeek. Again, code FOOLISH. Sometimes when a player has a career year, it's because they improved their true talent. Other times, they simply got luckier than they had in previous seasons. Hunter Greene pitched to a 2.75 ERA in 150 innings in 2024, but he's fundamentally no different than the guy who put up a 4.62 ERA the first 2 years of his career. In some respects, he may have actually been worse, with his strikeout rate and fastball velocity actually dipping a bit year over year. So where did that all-star appearance and top 10 Cy Young finish come from? Well, his BABIP, batting average on balls in play, fell from 309 in 2022 and 2023 to 237 in 2024. His strand rate, the rate at which he kept runners on base from scoring, improved from 74% to 81%, and his home run to fly ball rate more than halved from 15.2% to a paltry 6.9%. All those marks were top 10 among pitchers with at least 100 innings pitched last year, but the problem is, pitchers don't have that much control over these numbers in the first place. The home run to fly ball rate is the most pertinent example. Greene pitches in Cincinnati's Great American Small Park, yet somehow only 7% of his fly balls resulted in home runs. If nothing else about his season changes, and that rate gravitates back to career and ballpark norms, his ERA is back to the mid-4s. So I dislike Hunter Greene in 2025. Electric arm, but I think luck was a huge component of his breakout year. Returning from Tommy John surgery halfway through the season, Walker Buehler was destined to sign a one-year deal in free agency. But as he pitched deeper and deeper into the postseason, particularly in the World Series where he grabbed the win in Game 3 and closed out the series in Game 5, he certainly earned himself a few extra million with the Red Sox. Here's the problem though, he hasn't been good in the regular season before or after the surgery. In his last 28 starts dating back to 2022, he has a 4.75 ERA and 4.74 FIP. At the very least, he'll never be the same type of pitcher he once was. The nasty movement on his four-seam fastball is gone. That used to be his bread and butter, but it's hittable and dead zoney nowadays. No more sticky stuff. What pitching coach Andrew Bailey and the Red Sox will do is continue decreasing his fastball usage for more breaking pitches. Their work is cut out for them on that front. He registered stuff plus career lows on his slider, changeup, and knuckle curve in 2024. Those last two have a tendency to move right in line with Buehler's arm angle, which could lessen his ability to deceive hitters. The cutter has performed as his best pitch as of late, but that comes with platoon splits. He needs better options. Of course, his stuff ticked up in the postseason, so if the Red Sox get that version of Walker Buehler, this pick is in trouble, but I'll defer to the larger regular season sample sizes in this case. Dislike. This is a pick for the ball knowers out there. As a non-closer, Cade Smith isn't a household name, but ball knowers hold him in the absolute highest regard, so I'm betraying them. Cade Smith had a sub-2 ERA out of the pen in his first big league season, and while plenty of relievers can luck their way into sub-2 ERAs given small relief samples, the real highlight is that he had a 1.40 FIP. He struck out 103 hitters and only allowed one home run. Only Edwin Diaz and Jacob deGrom have seasons with a better FIP this decade, and Smith did that as a rookie, then played postseason hero until he finally succumbed to Giancarlo Stanton and the Yankees. The concern here is simple: overuse. If you fire up the stat head and look at relievers who made at least 70 appearances and threw 70 big league innings in their rookie years, you'll see many names that faltered in year 2. Stephen Vogt leaned on his top relievers in a big way. Smith, Clase, Gaddis, and Herron were all top 12 in appearances for all of MLB, and that usage continued in the playoffs, as Smith appeared in 9 out of Cleveland's 10 postseason games. And while his stuff is really good, most elite relievers are just that little bit nastier than he is. His extension and pinpoint location allow that stuff to play up, but I fear fatigue could affect both. The load management conversation tends to be centered around starters, but the 80-plus high-stress appearances and 80-plus high-stress innings for rookie Cade Smith are no joke. Sadly, I have to dislike due to my concerns. I was ineffective as a hater in 2024. Turns out I'm more of a liker, if not a lover. But that's all the picks for now. Tune in to the Foolish 50, coming eventually.